Okay guys, so this is the guide section of the video on how to get base parts, probably the most efficient way in the game. And I know this has been covered already in the past. There's lots of videos on it on YouTube, but I'm still going to go ahead and do exactly what I planned to do before I took my hiatus or break or quit or whatever you want to call it. But doing this method or any method, getting parts and components through disassembly, obviously your junk reduction chance will differ from my results depending on what your reduction chance is. Now, to find out what reduction you have, you discover them from the bench here. So it'll come up on the side, junk reduction chance, and what number it is. So if you go into your invention, it will all be under here. You see the junk chance reduction, number 1 at level 34, and another one here, another one there at 49, and then 64, and then junk chance reduction 3 at 64, and then reduction 4 at 69, which is the one that I've unlocked and which is what I'm using now. So the details of stats that I bring back are based on the items that I get and the components and parts that have been disassembled from those, and using the reduction of tier 4. So I will show at the end exactly how many base parts I got from doing this method. I'm going to show you the whole way through. Just bearing in mind, I've already hit the target that I want to achieve in base parts for now, which was 4,500. But I'm going through this run again anyway to show you exactly what it is that I did for that. So as you can see, I'm 4,986 as of the start of this tutorial, and I've also brought with me 2 million coins. I will not need that much, but you know, it's a round figure, so this is what I'm going to go ahead with and compare the cost of doing this to other items that you can buy from the Grand Exchange, to compare how many parts you get and the cost of doing that. So first of all, we're going to start with going to Burthorpe. So jump on your lodestone, and we're going to go northeast from the lodestone, and that is a guy called Gaius, and he owns a 2H, a two-handed sword shop. So you're going to buy all of his items and disassemble those. So you just run straight up here, and he's in a little building here with an anvil outside, and a guy called Dunstan working on that to make the swords. Okay, so go ahead and buy everything in this store. It is always really handy as well to have the disassemble tool on your action bar, like I do here. All you need to do that is drag the spell or the ability to the place that you want it. So I'm using equals, so I hit equals and click that. If you don't want to do that way, all you need to do is drag the item to the light bulb in your inventory. I'm just going to speed up this video, and I'm going to buy everything in the shop and disassemble everything and then move on to the next place. Okay, so the next place that you'll want to go is directly west from this shop, and you're going to run to the Warriors Guild and go see Anton. So the Warriors Guild is just next to the bank in Burthorpe, and once you're in here you need to run straight to the bank inside and then up the stairs at the back of the building. From there you run east through a door and you'll find Anton walking around his little store. So I'm going to put up a window on the side here just so then you know exactly what to buy from Anton, as he sells quite a lot of weaponry and not all of it will give you base parts. So I'm going to go through it. So in stabbing weapons you get all the daggers, you pick up the swords, the offhands, but you don't touch the spears. Leave the spears. Everything else. I'm going to speed this up again now. Okay, so once you've done all of the stabbing section of the shop, you want to move on to slashing. And within slashing, the only things you want to buy is longswords, scimitars, and two-handed swords. And realise I said scimitars, whatever. Just buy those. That is what you need to get this time. So I'm going to speed it up again and continue once I've done. So once you have completed the slashing section of the shop, move on to crushing, and within crushing you'll find maces and warhammers, of which buy them all and disassemble them. You might think it's a bit pointless to do bronze, but consider this. It's 32 GP per one, let's say for, it's under 100 GP per one, and chances of you getting base parts out of those is, yeah, relatively low because of the junk chance of the actual item itself. However, it is still next to nothing to give it a shot. Okay, so that is the biggest shop for the NPC places that we will be going to, but it is definitely worth it, every single part of that. So now we're going to move on to the next place. Okay, so next I'm taking you to Falador. So if you teleport to the Falador lodestone, and then once you arrive, if your game doesn't glitch out like it doesn't mine, then you need to run west once you enter Falador and into the Mace shop here. So you can see an active feed of the materials gained on this side here. However, if you're on a mobile, then you'll more than likely not be able to see that. Okay, so once you've cleared out Flynn's Mace Market, you will then be moving on to Zeke, and he's in Al-Kharid. So you teleport to Al-Kharid, and from the Lodestone, you need to travel west. Okay, and once you reach the Lodestone, you'll want to travel directly west into the building just next to it, and then talk to Zeke and buy all of his scimitars. Okay, and once you've completed Zeke's scimitar shop, or scimitar, we're going to head to Varrock, and this is going to be our last stop. There are other places in the world you can go to buy weapons, but these are the ones that are the easiest ones to get to. So from the Varrock Lodestone, you'll head to the sword shop, which is just north of the Lodestone itself. Once you're in there, speak to one of the shopkeeper or the shop assistant. You've also got the free items at the top if you want to get those. And in this shop, you'll want to buy everything they've got. And also, just so you're aware, doesn't matter who you go to, if it's the shopkeeper or the shop assistant, it is still the same shop that you're buying from. So the items will deduct in both people that you speak to. Another handy tip while doing this is you can actually block the NPC traders in certain areas. So, for example, if I'm standing here and I'm trading with them inside this room, they generally don't leave the room. So, it saves you having to find them within the shop, or if they end up wandering out the side if you forgot to close the door. Okay, so I've come to the end of my collections. So what I'm going to do now for you is work it out exactly how much that costed me for the base parts that I received. So if you remember before, we had 4,986 base parts, and now we have 5,678. So if I deduct what I had before, so we just got 692 base parts from that run. Sometimes it can be in the realms of around 700 as well, but obviously it all just depends on the chance, and even then your chance reduction included in that as well. So if that was 692 parts, that was 692 parts. The amount of money that I actually spent, I deduct away what I have left from the 2 million I started with, so it costed me 534k for this run of NPC buying weaponry. So if I now divide that by the number we just got in base parts, that comes to 772 GP, or 773 GP if you want to round it up, per base part. Now that isn't too bad when considering buying items from the gun exchange, because buying items from the gun exchange for base parts does cost quite a bit more. So for example, I tried Ascension bolts, which was something recommended, and from 3,000 of those, which costed me 357k, I got 66 base parts. So that was costing me 5,409 GP for each base part that I received, and like I said, I received 66 from 3,000 bolts, Ascension bolts. To put it into perspective, for 357k, that wasn't even enough to cover for 2 augments. Whereas with the NPC runs at a cost of 773 GP per base part, you could actually get 1 augment for 10 times less of the price, at around 32,000 GP. I also tried Royal bolts, which I bought 3,000 of, which gave me 55 base parts. The 3,000 bolts costed me 150k to buy, making the cost per base part 2,727. So based on everything I've tried, this is definitely the best option, and you get hundreds from it, and it doesn't require much of your time. There is obviously the other option to go to the higher value NPC shops as well, and the next part of the video is going to give you an idea of what you can do and where you can go to buy these items and what the costing of this is. So I bought around 30 items from the high value NPC shops, and that costed me 1.3 million, or to be more precise, 1,358,000 GP, and I received 32 base parts for that, so that means my cost per base part was 42,438. So unless you're in a rush, in a hurry to get the base parts, then I wouldn't recommend to do this. I would stick to the normal NPC shop runs and only buy up to adamant items, anything from bronze to adamant. So I hope this video has helped you in terms of finding the best way to get base parts, or for the simple fact that there's so many base part videos doing the same thing. I'm hoping that my stats helped to give you an idea of the amount you'll get and also the costing for that in comparison to other Grand Exchange items that you could use. The next video I am going to make for you guys is on how to get precious components. But for now, this is everything on base parts, and I'll catch you on the next video. See you soon.